I'd like to welcome everybody that's attended the webinar today with the title Collaboration with Microsoft Office 365. This webinar is one in a long row of Comparix webinars that we conduct in both English and as well as our local language throughout Northern Europe. And you would want to be sure to have a look at our website to see if there are any other webinars or seminars that you want to attend. My co-presenter today is Anne Rasmussen from Comparix here today. She'll be able to monitor any questions that might arise during the webinar, so feel free to ask at any time or wait until the end where there'll be some spare time for questions. You can of course enter any questions into the chat dialog box at any time. Let's start off with the agenda and what I'll be covering today. After introducing Comparix and myself, I will give you an idea of how you can collaborate across generations and why this might be a difficult task. Addressing such differences by making collaboration tools available that suit all types of employees can be just as challenging. Where do you start and which tools do you choose to make available to these different employees? Microsoft has a portfolio that might be able to help you in this quest, and in this webinar you can get inspiration to what might help you address these needs, both for the benefit of the productivity in your organization, but also for the employee satisfaction. My name is Peter Balling-Stockman, and I'm a solution advisor at Comparix with focus on cloud, compliance, and optimization. I'm a Microsoft license and agreement expert, and my job consists of helping our customers with optimizing their Microsoft investment and renewing any agreements with Microsoft in the most optimum way compared to the explicit Microsoft strategy that's in place. Other than that, I help our account managers conducting the Microsoft evaluation workshop at your premises with the aim of securing both license knowledge as well as giving you a general understanding on how to best optimize on the license portfolio and still be correctly licensed. As Comparix is one of Microsoft's largest and most complete solution providers, we have the means to help you directly on all traditional licensing programs, as well as helping you when you want to migrate to the cloud via your normal system integrator. Going forward, Comparix is also a cloud solution provider, and the chances are that we have teamed up with your normal consultants and architects on this Microsoft platform so that they'll be able to help you offer the full Microsoft portfolio with the help of Comparix. All right. I thought it might be a good idea to give you the definition of collaboration. I looked it up, and it states the act of working with a person or other group of people to create or produce something. Therefore, as the definition states, collaboration is a joint effort of multiple individuals or work groups to accomplish a task or a project. Within an organization, collaboration typically involves the ability of two or more people to view and contribute documents or other content. We all know that we collaborate on a daily basis, but to what extent do we actually work with other people and not just alongside them? The middle-aged generation is probably working for themselves most of the time. I know that from myself anyway, and then passing the work on to their fellow co-workers for further processing or acceptance. That's not really working together in a modern term, and it's what you could call improvisational collaboration method. Contrary to a structured approach, this method is based on individuals using the traditional enterprise collaboration tools, in which case those collaborating are not necessarily communicating and working together at the same time. The structured approach, on the other hand, involves collaborative partners working together simultaneously and in communication as they work, which nowadays is done via cloud collaboration tools instead of the traditional enterprise collaboration tools, as I call them. This would be, for example, Outlook. When using these tools in conjunction with modern mobility, you have the ability to work from home, while traveling and from other sites inside and outside of your business hours, and expect to be able to collaborate with coworkers from whatever device they are using at any time. As such, collaboration relies on openness and knowledge sharing, but also some level of focus and accountability on the part of the business organizations. As such, governance should be established so that the creation and closing of team workspaces should be addressed centrally and not by the individual people. And there should be an assignment of responsibility for capturing the results of the collaborative effort as well. So when you see collaboration from a company perspective, the economic gain from stepping up the collaborative efforts throughout the organization is based on both lower cost of doing business, but also via a higher productivity from the employees. The lower cost can be because you're using Skype instead of actually traveling to a customer site for a meeting, or essentially by having the employees working more, because a lot of the work will be after standard working hours. I'm sure you know it from yourself. You tend to, with your laptop, work Sundays or whatever, trying to get ahead for Monday morning. Furthermore, productivity increase is to be expected, as modern collaboration tools as the Microsoft Office 365 product portfolio brings both people and information together in a highly efficient way compared to the traditional way of working. This brings agility to the business, which inherently will be able to change direction faster than the competition or respond to the market in a timely manner, thereby leveraging a greater return on investment. The agility and thereby the productivity increase is based on the fact that the businesses has made the right environments available to the employees that in turn will be much more willing to continue in this manner because of work satisfaction for an even greater benefit as a result for the business. So looking at it from an employee perspective, a modern way of working where the employee is empowered by the employer while being able to work at any time and from any device in a much freer environment than usual essentially should give a greater sense of independence and thereby leading to the notion of new opportunities for the business. Right. Generation Y, also called the millennials, is rapidly being the dominant factor in the workplace when it comes to the way that we work and when we work. The traditional way, where my generation, Generation X, is using what I call enterprise collaboration tools, leveraging an on-premise notion, is swiftly being replaced by a hybrid environment by Generation Y, where the appearance of cloud collaboration tools from, among other, Office 365 is being introduced into the market. There's a shift in not only the tools that we use, but also in the way that we work. This is due to a generation that reflects very differently in many respects. Millennials are more willing than any other generation to post personal information online, but do not want anybody else to access their own personal data or web history. Relative to my Generation X, there's they are the most active and engaged group on of social media users. Millennials would rather work in a collaborative setting than in cubicles or offices that we know them in Denmark. Some companies understand this need and have programs around it and create programs designed to support this type of workplace collaboration where flexibility is promoted. Employees would benefit from being able to work side by side with peers, and the company benefits from a higher productivity. You know, if you have been to Microsoft in Microsoft site in Denmark, then your building, their workplace is based upon collaboration and that way of thinking. The millennium's workplace priorities are completely different from older generations. They want to work remote and from a co-working space instead of having to go to the office every day. This is the first generation that actually does not understand why we have a standard workday in a, let's say, 24/7 world. In such a world, there will be more collaboration, but probably it's going to be virtual collaboration. There'll be online work groups, and you will use video and other productivity tools to produce high-quality projects. And more projects outside of the job description will be taken on as organizational hierarchies collapse accordingly. Different groups throughout the organizations have different needs, and Microsoft has a vast product stack that can address these collaborative needs. For the purpose of this webinar, I'll go through some of the Microsoft collaboration tools, but you should be aware that there are other tools that could be of interest to you when deciding how to approach the subject of collaboration with Office 365. The ones that I will not go through today is Sway, it's OneNote. OneNote is part of a lot of other things that I'll go through. It's Office 365 Video, it's Planner, it's Graph, and it's My Analytics. That's the former Delve Analytics. Oh, sorry. All right. We all know Outlook. And especially my generation, as I'm not a millennial generation employee, and I've spent a lot of time working in this application. Outlook was originally designed to be used by a wide audience with many work needs and different styles, and has over the years proven a very valuable and necessary tool in everyday work. I, for one, couldn't live without it. Outlook helps keep you organized and on track. Attachments from a file share allow for easier sharing and collaboration on documents, and calendars can be viewed side by side for better planning and so on. You can even see all your contacts, key information in one place, and it's supposed to make it a lot easier to manage all your communications in one place. Nevertheless, Outlook is no longer the star that it used to be, and new ways of thinking and new ways of working is challenging its primary position in the office. Or actually, that's what you would think, as so many other new tools available to us. But the majority of the workforce is still my generation, and so there's no one to really dispute Outlook's place at the moment. But there will be very soon, and I'm not saying that we can do without Outlook, not yet anyway. What I'm saying is that the days when the majority of our work hours was spent in Outlook is almost over. Take a good look at the mails that you have received in the last 2 weeks, and then at your responses to those mails. You will probably find that you almost chatting in Outlook instead of using it for its original purpose, sending letters electronically and having a calendar close by. Outlook is, of course, still being developed, and new features are added, but as I said, Outlook is a valuable tool for addressing the world outside the organization, even though you will have to use it in conjunction with other tools in the near future. So, as with Outlook, I'm going through the products from what I call the enterprise collaboration tools towards the newer cloud collaboration tools. As with Outlook, SharePoint was one of the first Microsoft collaboration tools, empowering individuals, teams, and organizations to share and collaborate on content from anywhere and on any device. SharePoint usage varies from organization to organization. The product incorporates a wide variety of capabilities, and the most common uses of SharePoint include enterprise content and document management, or as an intranet site with or without a SharePoint newsfeed, or as a file hosting service on-premise. Because SharePoint is such a versatile tool, the functionality is part of many newer Microsoft collaboration tools as well. And the same goes for Outlook. So those two products we'll see again in a new form. OneDrive is a traditional file share that is located in the cloud. The smart thing with this is that if you want to collaborate in real time on an Office document, for example, you will first have to save the document to the cloud. Having your files stored online makes it easy to organize them and share them, and your files are always up to date so that everyone has access to the latest version. Once you've done this, you can start to change your collaboration workflow for the better, and OneDrive as such lets you leverage and use cloud technology and is usable for all of the newer products. Yammer, that was the first social networking services for the enterprise, connecting people and teams across their organization in a less formal and in a social manner. Customized feeds bring relevant content to the user in the same way a Facebook feed would, while comments, likes, and private messaging allow for, let's say, a friendlier and more natural response between employees. Yammer is a private, secure social network for your organization that will allow people to collaborate across departments and countries. It's designed to inspire company-wide knowledge exchange and to increase team efficiency, and only people with a verified company email address can join the company network. You can start conversations, you can collaborate on files and organize around projects so that you can go further, faster, because it's built around open communication. This means that team members can get up to speed, having greater context around the work they're doing and make better decisions on a daily basis. So I have Office, this part of the presentation, because Office today is used for much more than it was traditionally, because in a world where remote work is becoming the new normal and workers are seeking each other physically less often, Microsoft improved range of collaboration features in Office is greatly valued. Many Microsoft dedicated Office users became frustrated when they used to constantly send and edited files back and forth between them, integrating various edits into a final document, and it became a nightmare. With the new collaboration features now available in Office Professional, Office 365 Pro Plus, for example, or Office Online or Office 2016, the content stays in one place, and you will always have access to other people's edits if you want to. When you and your colleagues want to collaborate on a document, use real-time co-authoring to see everybody's changes as they happen. Document co-authoring means working on a document simultaneously with one or more users, and there are different methods of document collaboration and co-authoring that gradually involve a more structured and control around document collaboration experience. Document collaboration and co-authoring is a critical element to working efficiently as a team in your organization. Understanding the ways that you can collaborate on documents and choosing the right way is vital to making the best choice for your needs and improving your productivity. You have a semi-formal co-authoring where multiple authors edit simultaneously anywhere in the document. You know, if you're brainstorming in a document and so forth, and you have the formal co-authoring where you edit simultaneously in a controlled way by saving content, but it's only available for the others when you're ready to show it. It could be newsletters or marketing presentations or something like this in PowerPoint. And then you have comment and review. You know, it's a common, more traditional document collaboration method. In this case, you know, you're a single author seeking review and feedback from other authors and subject matter experts. Right. So. One of the newer Microsoft Office 365 features are groups, and when teams are working on a project together, they are typically a lot to keep track of emails and meetings and Outlook and documents to store and share in SharePoint and OneDrive. Office 365 Groups enables teams to come together and get work done by establishing a single hub and a single set of permissions across all of these Office 365 applications, so teams can simplify collaboration and increase productivity. Office 365 Groups is accessible via the Outlook web app, and the interface you see on the screen here is actually Microsoft web app. So it's concentrated around Outlook and the way you used to work in Outlook, but it's a different interface, gives a different sense of working together because you're a group and everybody in the group can see the group's content. What you should be aware of is that groups are by definition open to any other people in the organization. They can join groups freely, but if you want to have a private group, you can create a private group, and you should be sure to do that. It's a collection of tools that enables the user to both join meetings and start conversations via a mail-like system and share documents. It's a front end both to Outlook, SharePoint, and Yammer in one single instance, so to speak. But really, you should look at this as a total experience instead of a product, giving the employees the possibility to express themselves and deliver the best work possible when interacting. But there's an even newer feature or application, let's call it experience then, Microsoft Team. It's built on Microsoft Office 365 Groups, but extending the collaboration features in such a way that it provides a modern experience to the conversations for the employees. Team conversations are just as with Office 365 Groups by default visible to the entire organization, but there's of course the ability to have private discussions and private teams. Skype is deeply integrated into the Teams, and you can easily participate in video and voice conferences. The experience of working in Office 365 Teams itself is fun, and this matter to your millennials because there are both emojis and stickers and GIFs and whatnot, and Teams make it easy for people to add personality and uniqueness to their conversations. Second, Microsoft Teams brings together the full breadth and depth of Office 365, providing a true hub for teamwork through all of the Office applications, you know, Planner and My Analytics as well, and Power BI are built into Teams, so people have the information and tools they need at their fingertips. And Microsoft Teams is built for each of us, meeting accessibility standards, so every team member can participate. All teams are unique, so there's also invested in ways for people to customize their team environment through rich experiences. For example, team members can create their own channels to organize conversations, and they can integrate their favorite cloud services with a feature called tabs that will provide quick access to frequently used content and information. And there are connectors to third-party applications. I know at Comparix we use Asana in some of the teams, and you can add Asana boards or Trello boards or Twitter directly into your team site. And last but not least, the Skype, you know, the direct interactive application, and you know, of course, you know, you join meetings, you use Skype for chat, and you can actually initiate co-authoring sessions with another person in a Skype call. But you have to have, of course, the document available via OneDrive. Otherwise, there will be no way to save it on the go. So it won't be real co-authoring if you don't have OneDrive. Skype for Business, of course, integrates with enterprise voice via PBX systems, and it differs from PC to PC voice that you use during your online meetings. All right, we have a couple of minutes to go. When contemplating making a shift in a way that you would work in your organization by introducing Microsoft Office 365, several factors must be addressed for it to have the impact that you expect it to have. First of all, you must examine the organization in order to determine both the composition of your workforce, but also based on your business and what you can expect to gain from a change project that essentially Office 365 is when you implement that. Are there any industry specifics where Office 365 can have a greater impact than normal, for example? As the employees are the ones that need to work in a changed way for the business to reach their goal, agree the settings with the employees and ensure that there's management support throughout the process. And one of the key things when implementing Office 365 is the education of the employees. It's absolutely key. All knowledge shows that in order for such a project to be a success, an education in how to collaborate is necessary and what tools to use when. Furthermore, it's important that the education is ongoing and focused on the process of collaboration and not the tools. I mean, we have probably all tried the education tools that was available with the Microsoft agreement, and it's not that kind of education your millennials would go for. As new tools are introduced, there will certainly be employees that have problems using them and problems with access or similar. It's important that these users get the help that they need in a timely manner in order for them to embrace the change throughout the process. And depending on your organization and your needs, only some of the 365 product technologies should be introduced at once so that both the organization as well as the employees can keep up. And from here on, you'll hopefully be able to harvest your achieved benefit from utilizing Office 365 and continue the journey by re-examining the organization and so on when you want to introduce new applications. Compares will be able to help you in all of these matters and walk you through all the products, their functionalities, and the optimum way of licensing these products based on your needs and your Microsoft strategy for the future. And if you want to hear more about this, you can give us a call or give us a mail, and we'll happily supply you with further information on where you go from here. And I found this picture on one of our Comparex sites, and I kind of like it because it says, you know, it's the chain is not stronger than the weakest link, or it says this is how you break out of your chains of today in your normal way of working. So by that, I only have any questions left that you might have, and I'll just give you a couple of minutes to write something in the chat box or ask any questions here. All right. There's no questions as I can see, and
no, there's no questions.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you for attending this webinar, and I hope you got some pointers on what to do. You will of course be able to revisit this recording that will be available on YouTube, and we'll send you the presentation. But be sure to check our website for other webinars. So have a great day.